Good evening, and welcome to Allports Gaming SuperCars NZ. I'm Doug, and I'm joined in the broadcasting lounge this evening with Shane. How are we going there, Shane?
Yeah, good thanks, Doug. Here at Phillip Island for a little endurance race. Very historic circuit just off the coast of Melbourne, Australia, in Victoria. Uh, yeah, hosted some great racing in V8 supercars and motorcycle racing over the years. So good to see the V8s here at a classic Australian
Yeah,
circuit being it out.
yeah, it's
Thanks for that, Doug.
certainly cool. And tonight's a special one for us as well. It's the first round of three new endurance races that we're going to be doing this season, and Sean's affectionately called it the Allports Enduro Cup. So this season, iRacing has the V8s going to three Australian circuits, and we thought what better way to honour those Aussie circuits than by doing a 1 hour endurance race. So that's right, tonight you have us for a whopping 1 hour, and things will get a little bit spicy at some point during tonight, won't they? Shane, what are we going to be rolling out for to keep the drivers on their toes and the people at home entertained?
Yeah, we'll be very exciting. There's 45 cars lining up on the grid, so going to be very interesting. Turns 1, 2, 3 and 4 on the first lap will be very tricky as all the cars pile in there as the lights are just coming up now and they're getting ready to go. Bruce Tannock off the pole and he gets the initial jump as they go out, and it looks like he's going to get the run down towards turn 1. Meanwhile, we've got Connor Nixon and Daniel Hedderside fighting it out. Daniel Hedderside going to P3 just behind Connor Nixon there, as Braden Sagasar has run wide and there's a car slow away
25, front straight.
and an incident being called into race control already. So, and
Turn
there's
one,
drama
car
there at turn 2 as well. A call coming in
Turn
for
one,
something at
car
turn
V8.
1. Couple of calls coming in for something at turn 1 as down to Graf down the inside of Simon Hedderside there.
Yeah, awesome. Start away for our front bunch. A few cars getting into a wee bit of a tangle, and then coming down out of that, there was a bit of a pile up down at turn 2. As we see Bruce Tannock still leading the field, hasn't been able to quite stretch his legs away from Connor Nixon just yet. And in third place up 4 is Dion de Graaf in the Simblacks entry. So crashed out just at the start of the race there. I saw Braden Sagas's name jump up, and also they had Scott Pickering, Sam Apps, Daniel Johnson, Wayne Spencer, Mark Wright, Ridley Turner, Roger Forbert, Timothy Vaughan. So they're all coming up as crash statistics, so I won't be able to see those just yet, because while we keep on with what's happening here at the front, you can see a big gap there in the middle, but sometimes on our data, crash statistics can be cars coming to a near stop to avoid incidents, or have indeed had a moment and a pile up is ensued. So we'll go back and have a look at some of those replays shortly.
So we'll look at Dale de Graaf there, sitting P3 just in front of Daniel Hedderside. Daniel had a look at Dion down into turn 1 on the previous lap after Dion had a big moment through the final corner, but is just able to carry enough momentum down the straight to hold Daniel off there. Dion, I can tell you, is running quite a low wing setting tonight, so that probably helped him in that battle as well.
Yeah, just as iRacing takes us to a spicy battle happening between Aaron Goodrick from MRX and the one and only dark horse black sheep himself, Blake Grenhall.
Yeah, so Blake's sitting P9 there, so inside the top 10. Aaron looking to see if he can take a spot off him at the moment. He's going to tuck into the draft down the front straight. probably a little far back to do anything into turn 1, as I've just seen Connor challenging Bruce Tannock into turn 1 for the lead, but Bruce holding him off for now. And you can see there Blake does have just enough of a gap over Aaron to hold that position down into turn 1, and actually maybe even pull the gap out a little bit at the moment, so he might be looking to attack.
Oh!
That's got to be the ultimate commentator's curse.
Yep.
Blake has just half looped it at turn 2 there, unfortunately, and dropping back down the order.
Yeah, dropping down there into 13th spot, just slotting in front of Tony Lynch. The Digital Bogans entry, as Tony has just had a big dive put on him by Dane. They had to break deep, and it's given Tony the ability to run around back onto the outside of him. And looking on at this battle taking place is the one and only Mr. Nick Mitchell.
Yeah, so further down than we'd normally expect to see Nick at the moment, so I'm not quite sure whether he's been involved in an incident or maybe just didn't qualify all that well. My data's showing he's running where he started or just moved up one position.
Just up one, yep.
So yeah, maybe not an ideal qualifying and looking to push his way up through the longer race. Meanwhile, at the front, Connor is really challenging Bruce now, and Dion has joined that battle at the front as well. And in fact, Dion looking to go to P2 as we speak.
Yep, sorry, I was just trying to get rid of that track map again because it was in a really awkward place for where I didn't want it to be. So yeah, Dion really putting the moves and hurt onto Connor already, as we see Rob Higgins out there in the background falling further down the grid order. Sitting out wide. Connor positioning his car for some defensive line and then trying to move back onto the racing line to get a good run and exit, because he's been wanting to stick as close as he possibly can to the back of Mr. Tannock there in the Mag and Turbo entry car.
Plus the big Bruce has just backed off a little bit to look after his tyres and maybe save some fuel, because he's done a 29.4 as his fastest lap in this race, but the last lap was a 30.7.
Yes.
We did see he and Connor had quite a gap to Dion, which, while Dion is a quick driver himself, we would expect that normally Bruce would be able to maintain that sort of gap maybe over Dion, and that probably explains why Dion's been able to close in as quickly as he had. So
yeah,
Bruce might be in the box seat here, just able to control the pace out front, while those guys behind sitting in the dirty air trying to push for a way past might be taking a bit more out of their tyres than they'd like at the moment.
That's right.
As Tony Lynch sitting in 18th position.
18th spot there, yep, where he started. And he's just getting pushed along by Roger Forbert there, who has generated a little bit of an overlap. That car looking very worse for wear, that Monster Energy car. It's got the stage 1 lightning kit on that one with the bonnet removal, just as we see Tony run deep into the braking zone up at the top of turn 2 and 3. Property Edge Mustang, the one being driven along by Sam Apps at a crawl here at the moment, showing way down the order in 41st position, but again could be just working on some tactics of trying to save that tyre life, saving that fuel as much as you can. A 1 hour race is quite lengthy. Stuart Crawford here, number 054, not 54, number 054 in the KFC entry. That's sort of like quite a cool segue to roll into who our week sponsor is this week, there, Shane?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, speaking of 54.
Yes, indeed. So, 54 Sim Racing, my bread, my butter, my baby. We are sponsoring this week's week's race, and I had to confirm with the guys that they hadn't been taking money out of my account, because I definitely haven't got anything free at the minute. But they said I've been putting in a good bit of workload, so they've given this one up for me for all the effort I've been putting in lately with getting some extra videos up onto our channel. So thank you, boys, for that. Thank you for the recognition. As we can just see sitting down out the back there, who was that on the grass?
Didn't actually catch that myself.
Ross Watson, possibly. I want to have a squiz and see if it was him. See, look at this. This is all gone to poo. SDK's gone and changed some stuff on us. So the Allports logo not coming up. Their one coming up instead. But yes, it was Ross that had gone off into the wall, and that's not reverse. No matter how hard he tries. I think he towed to the pits in the end. He had enough of sitting there doing that. So sorry, there's been a bit of a change to our normal streaming behaviour with what you see on screen. Battle on here at the moment. Don't be mistaken, they are two different cars, even though they are similarly coloured. Is Heath Parlett.
5-second penalty, car 069, 5-second penalty, car 74, 5-second penalty, be added to the race time at the end. That's it.
So a few 5-second
Ooh!
coming through from race control there.
As Heath
Taylor
Parlett
and
and Taylor Mitchell got together there, that was quite a messy one. It looks like Heath might be redressing that, and I think that's exactly what he's done. He realised that battle was just getting a bit much, as we still see here battle with Stuart Crawford, a KFC 054 entry, and Aaron Goodrick, MRX, up 6 spots currently and into 9th, having a good look here at trying to get around the outside of Mr. Crawford. I'll see if I can get my camera angles to play ball. Here we go. I'm trying to do this manually off a button box because I have no camera control at the moment via our SDK. Stuart Crawford doing a great job covering that inside line as Aaron gets nearly had a run on him, and it could have gone very badly, but he's done well to pull that up and keep it tidy in behind him. As we welcome Sean, the one and only Macatap Namara, into the broadcasting lounge. How are we this evening? Race control.
Yeah, it's been obviously first lap is always going to be carnage. I say it every time, and so that took me that long with obviously that many cars on track. It's very hard for me to look at all the incidences quickly. So
of course,
I've given out 3 5-second penalties to people
Yep.
that obviously just lost a little bit of concentration.
Yeah.
And,
we heard those
the rejoin.
ones.
Yeah, the rejoin with the cars off track because you're going so fast at turn 1. You're better off just trying to pull out and not actually trying to rejoin, you know. So they've only been given 5 seconds for the end of the race. So the yellow, which we'll be talking about very shortly, it's still not going to help them. So some people might say a drive-through would be better, but this is what I've decided at this point in time. I thought 5 seconds is pretty lenient. So
yeah. So just as you were mentioning the yellow, which we haven't touched on yet for our streamers at home, I'm actually going in and deleting some of the numbers that we had pre-populated into it because we'd banked on that we would start around the 8th minute, and I see that we're just about to roll over into the 13th. So I'm getting rid of them up to 14 and going to start at lucky number 15. So for tonight, Macca, if you would like to let our folks at home know what we're doing with our spinning wheel.
Yes, so for example, this is an hour-long endurance race. I think they've already talked about. We're running three 1-hour-long races in this season, and we thought we'd throw a random yellow. We normally do not throw yellows in any of our championships. We never have. We don't clear black flags. For people that race on the online, they know that everyone wants a black flag cleared down again, don't they? So we don't do that. So, but tonight we're gonna do yellows. But when we came to deciding what lap we did the yellow in, we thought we'd leave it up to a random choice. And tonight we're actually going to show you at home. We're going to put a spinning wheel up, and we're going to pick a lap to throw the yellow.
Yeah.
So therefore, no one knows at this point in time when the yellow is going to be thrown. So if any of the racers can actually race and watch the stream at the same time, they might be in for a little bit of a head start on a few of the others. So we're going to leave it up to Doug. We'll throw the yellow. We'll show everyone at home, and this is when we will apply it during the race.
That's it. Just quickly, I just want to bring up the replay of Connor Nixon passing Bruce Tannock for P1 because that was missed and that has happened. So here's a quick replay of that.
Well, it's not a quick replay. Oh, we made a mistake. There you go. And I had a bit of a chat to a few people saying this track is going to bring mistakes in an hour-long race. So bide your time. And that's where you got it.
As we segue straight back to the same point where Mr. Tannock had his whoopsie, as he's sitting right on the rear bumper of Connor Nixon there in first. So, with no further ado, I'm going to bring into my friend's streaming view the Wheel of Fortune. Actually,
or death.
If I put it there, everyone at home can see it too. So
there we go.
Check car 301, lap 10.
As we had that, I had someone call in another race control to have a look. So I'm just going to copy that. Sorry to get involved. Which one is it? 26.
So,
Alright, so
26th minute will be when the yellow flag is thrown.
There we go.
So
well done. I think it worked out well, Doug and Shane.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, alright. So I'm going to leave you, and you guys can talk about other stuff, and I'll be back later. Oh, it was good timing.
Do you reckon you can keep an eye on the time and pop in when that happens and say throwing the yellow, and then you can do it?
Yeah, I hope so. I'll definitely throw the yellow. So leave that up to me, and I'll go and look at this, and I'll be back, and you guys can carry on talking a very intelligent race.
Yeah. Man, I just see the guys absolutely flying by what I believe was Andrew Johnson there. Could be wrong, could be Daniel. I see Daniel's got some off track, so I'll have a quick look and see if it was him. Oh yes, yep, very deep. That's a to keep it away from the wall. Here's Sandtrap doing its thing. Doesn't often seem to do enough here though, does it? The Sandtrap. So I suppose it would be quite a tricky one to do or to simulate for the track maybe. Track the Sandtrap depth that actually grabs hold of cars and slows them down and arrests them the way that we expect them to do as a safety feature. But maybe that's something iRacing needs to look at, that is if you end up going wide into the sand trap, that you do end up taking a shovel full of gravel into the front and rip apart radiators and front bumpers come off, and that you can get stuck and have to request a tow or a yellow flag is thrown. I don't know. Something for you to think about iRacing. You can steal that idea.
Yeah, that'll be quite interesting. Interesting note though, that gravel trap you can just see there at turn 1 has been known over the years for cars to skate across that and actually end up all the way at the other side of that section.
Yes.
How
would we know that? How do we know that though?
Well, back in 2009, Kim McConville ended up going right across there and
yes,
just missing, I believe it was Dean Canto after he got with Steve Owen on the approach to turn 1.
Yeah,
there,
and of course, Dean had not long just come back to racing after a big accident as well, and he said that was quite an eyeball opening moment where he thought it was going to be all over Red Rover.
Of course, I believe now they have put a wall at the other end of that, so in real life now you can't quite get across there, but iRacing hasn't updated Phillip Island for a wee while, so you can still skate right across there, and you can see that part of the track where you do end up if you get a high speed off track at turn 1 there.
Yeah, you definitely you go through there with quite a bit of pace. It's not for the faint-hearted. It does do a very good job of making cars go airborne.
Yeah, have you ever managed to end up skating across there, Doug?
Nope. Yep. Many a time.
I had a moment in a race in another league where I got squeezed on the approach to turn 1, put in the dirt and got completely out of control and did end up rejoining on the other side of turn 2 and got a black flag for it from iRacing for cutting the track and had to kindly ask race control to clear that black flag for me because, as with the incident I just called in for them to review,
yes,
it wasn't my fault that I'd ended up there, and I did end up behind the same cars I was behind, so they were quite happy to clear that for me, thankfully.
Oh, that was good. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, sometimes obviously that doesn't happen, but yeah. I want to take the chance just to go back and review some of the incidents that took place at the beginning of the race. So with our first one of Ross Watson crashing, I believe, on the start line. So we'll have a look back and see what happened there. Unless we've got a reason to stay here for a minute while this battle takes place. Yeah. Let's watch this and see where this ends up first. We've got Jason Mayer just looping around the outside of Andrew Johnson there. This is down in position 22. Jason making a very quick run at the back of Rob Higgins there in the Nitro Circus 199 entry. What does that famous number of 199 mean to you there, Shane? Travis
I feel like you're telling
Pastrana.
me something. Right.
As in the one and only motocross rider and founder of Nitro Circus.
Yes.
There we go. See, I know some stuff about some stuff, eh?
You do. You knew something that I did not know there, so well done.
There we go. And I can't. I'm happy that you backed that up because Sean's just joined us and you go, that can't be right. There's nothing that Doug knows that Shane doesn't know already.
That's the thing. We're all patting each other on the back. I've joined in the right time.
Yeah. Rob Higgins taking the opportunity to come into pit lane. Who's he cruising by there?
At what minute? 20.
Yeah. So
This is an interesting time to be coming to the pits because with the yellow flag not too far away, obviously these guys don't know that unless they are watching the stream.
Shh. Someone definitely is, and I believe it's the one and only Jared Eccleston, because I saw him pop up on the chat before saying, "No, an hour is too long, not allowed," in the chat. So g'day there to you, Jared. Feel free to give us another shout out when you get a chance. All nice and clear on pit lane exit there for Rob. Yeah, I don't know if the message has been sent around.
Well, if everyone comes in after 25 minutes, you know it's gone out there, don't you? Yeah.
This could be quite interesting. I'm so interested to see how this plays out because if people are getting close to wanting to grab some tyres, could be a bit of a turn of event for Mr. Rob Higgins sitting down in 32nd spot, up 7 from where he started. But yeah, game.
You're going to hear people moan too, it's ruined my race. And I love it because it's like, mate, we don't pick it. It just happens when it happens.
Yeah, that's
we won't shorten it either because normally we can shorten the yellow. We won't shorten it. We'll go do the full 3 laps under yellow and we'll see what happens with it. But it's nice
because usually the first one has. Oh, that's a big dive.
Oh.
Who's he dived on? Is it?
That was Mr. Mitchell. Nick Mitchell.
Oh, that's right. Because there's been a bit of contact.
I'd say he's got the apex, and that's sort of tried to squeeze the line as tight as he can.
Yes.
So probably just a little bit of rubbings racing there. I think it's all fair.
Yeah, and no complaints there from Nick that I heard. But while we've got a couple of minutes left, I'm going to just have a look back at some of these issues from the start of the race. So here's Ross Watson crash.
I couldn't get it, so I'm glad you told me because I could not see it off the start. This is one I could not get when he called it in.
Oh.
Go back. Oh, sorry. I need to see what happened there.
Rewind. Okay.
Yeah, do a rewind. Do a Wayne.
So he's their number 25. He's
they
been
both didn't give each other room.
tussling with car number 10.
Alright.
All right.
No,
So that
not
calls
each other,
out.
give each other
So
room.
Liam Jacobs. Oh, yep.
Yeah, and these
Cars
both off.
chasing,
This took me
chasing
ages
each
to
other
figure
off.
out.
And then what's the rejoin like?
The rejoins were not good enough. They both got
Oh,
penalties.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah,
that's
And this is
why there was a
that's
big
why I
gap
said at
back.
turn 1. Yeah, I said at turn 1. Check up at 2. Oh, I missed that second one. Oh my god. And to be honest,
Some guys watching at home might look at that thinking those guys are out of control though, but you can ease off the brake earlier and get around to the left of those little marshal posts.
Oh!
Much
Did you
cleaner
see
way
that
than those
car
guys do.
barrel roll over his roof? Hang on. Let's look at look in the mirror, in his mirror. Look in his mirror.
Oh, highlight package coming up.
Oh yeah.
Highlight package coming up.
Oh,
No, and I didn't get any calls from that. I got calls from the first turn. Oh my god, that is absolutely. Maybe I should call you yellow. Nah. Oh my god, just drive through everyone.
Oh wow.
can we just have another look at that? I think the car who barrel rolled over Nick Bakey might have been a DSA car. No, it wasn't. I did see a DSA car involved in all that though.
That's awful. Well, that's what you get with 40 cars on track, mate, isn't it, boys?
Oh man.
Sometimes it pays to be in the com box, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like the GT trees all over again.
Yeah. So that was spicy.
All right, we've got 1 minute to go. 1 minute to
Yeah.
go. I'm ready.
And look at this. Back into the pit lane. Oh no, this is Roger Forbert. Oh, he's getting a quick repair, is he? Was he in before, or
Wow.
was that just me?
He has done
No,
the perfect.
it was Rob Higgins that was in before.
Oh, sorry. There we go.
Yeah.
He has
Uh,
possibly.
He's got the perfect. He's going to be around pole.
And
When he
I
comes
mean,
out.
Just a quick note on the yellow as well. People watching at home, if you don't follow iRacing too closely, might be thinking that you're better off just coming on the yellow flag. But iRacing, when you throw a yellow, uses the American
no,
rules, but
look at
the lane
this.
stays closed when the yellow comes out.
Oh, someone's been watching the stream. The leaders are in. All right, we've got 15 seconds.
yeah, they'll be out just before it goes as well. Let's see what the strategy is for the boys. Oh, Connor overshot. He had to reverse up.
And I'm calling it.
Yep.
It's done. Well, maybe they had time to watch the stream. This is all new. What we're trying here at SuperCars NZ. So we're trying something, and we'll see how it works out. There's going to be some people that love it. Love it.
There we go.
So pit lane will now be closed. The safety
Yep.
car will come out on track, catch the leader, bunch the field up, and
So,
at
sorry.
the end of that lap, the pit lane will open and drivers will be allowed to come in and take their stops.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
effective race leader at the moment is Dion de Graaf here in the number 20 car, Simblack's entry, and following him is Simon Hedeshard there in second, and third in the SDI entry, Steve Darren. So yeah, a bit of a change up in a mix. I don't know if the safety car's out just yet, but of course all cars can't pass one another once the yellow flag's been thrown as well. This is an interesting tactic from Dion, because he can pit, but the pit lane exit will be closed, and he needs to be mindful of that.
Well, the pit lane entry will have been closed, so he's going to receive a end of line there.
Said the pit was open.
Yeah, see, he's already on the mic.
Yeah, no. See, I would have thought it would have said that possibly pit. Yeah, it would have said pit lane. Pit lane entry was shut. You're correct. So.
Oh well. Normally it would be shut too.
Said open. Yeah.
If it said
the way the iRacing stuff would work, it should have been shut.
My pit lane said it was open, so I went in. Now I've got a fucking penalty.
Oh.
So who's that? Who's?
That
We
was
can
Nick
clear.
Mitchell.
So That happened last night too, but it's an iRacing fault. It's not a SuperCars NZ fault.
And someone's trying
Correct.
to drive round past the safety car, so I don't know if they've been given a wave round or if the lucky dog rule was enforced,
Double suck it up, Bruce.
as they've dived deep down to the end of turn 5 there.
I was already in the pits before the own flag, and now it's telling me to let cars by.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I was in pit lane and then putting me back through the field.
Lot.
Well, a few dramas going on by the sound of it. I wonder if it's to
Love
do with where the start-finish line is relative to the pit lane. It's a bit unusual that the start-finish line here is after the pit exit. So I wonder if it's got something to do with what's going on. I'm not 100% sure though.
Yep.
Has someone's gone off behind the safety car there?
Yeah, I think we'll have a, because iRacing is trying to re-sort out drivers as well. So what will be popping up on the screen, and this is why there's a bit of radio comms at the moment, is there will be cars saying pass car number da da da, stay behind car number da da da, and as we can see there, so a few of these lead guys that were in the lead are now moving back up to the front. So the ones that have all dived for the... Oh!
Shit, sorry, Steve. My friggin' mouse just dropped off, bro.
Oh, someone's hit someone in pit lane.
Yeah, Dane
Call it in.
Dane just piled into the back of Steve Darren. He didn't lose control.
But lucky enough I could just dive in here and take a fast repair, so
yeah.
it's not the end of the world.
So I'm going to bring up the pit stops. See if there's going to be anyone that doesn't react to it just yet.
Really sorry about that, Steve.
Nah. No worries, mate.
Well,
Yeah.
as I said, it's up to iRacing. It's an iRacing issue. So,
Yeah, so there'll be a few people just trying to resort the shuffle as they've come back out of pit lane again. The numbers will be popping up and down.
Just chill, everybody.
The Paul Blake.
Yep. A few people of it not happy about where people are getting rejigged to, where they've come into the pit or what's happened.
Steve Bradley, you need to go past me, please.
Rightio. While everyone...
almost the time I want to mute the drivers, so I don't want to hear them. But hey, we knew this would happen. I knew it was going to help some people and hinder some people. So it's all part of it.
To me, it looks like it's done pretty much the right thing.
Sam, go past.
Lights are out on the safety car as well, and it looks like it might be a 2-wide restart by the look of the way they're lining out.
Ooh. I should have put it single file. I should have put it single file. If it isn't, that's my bad. But I hate this too.
You could extend it if you want by a
Yeah,
lap.
Sam's telling me to let 51 by.
You could quickly just jump on and say, looks like it could be a two by re, but everyone's still in single file. I imagine there might be some black to be cleared coming up across the start-finish line.
There's no blacks get cleared, mate. We don't clear blacks, so it is what it is. There's the safety car.
Yep, just
The
about to
safety car
come
has
in.
Let's go
and they're
wheels
single.
off. Bruce has control. It is single
And he'll
file,
slow
so
up.
just put themselves out.
Sean, what are we doing?
Follow iRacing, mate. iRacing's got control. You just go when you're ready.
Car 51, you need to pass us. We can't start until you pass us. 51.
Go.
That's Roger.
Car
They've gotta go.
51, Grant, come past.
I'm black flag now, my race is over. Lights are green, everybody go.
I don't know what's going on there, but Bruce hasn't gone at all.
What a joke.
Good work, Bruce. I'm pulling over. Fuck me.
Hold up, people. Hold up. We'll clear flags. Bruce is gone. It's iRacing in control of it. I don't know how they can't sort themselves out.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, so there's still 30. Ooh, spicy in the middle. Yeah, I mean, there's still just over 25 minutes of racing to go. Surely they should be able to.
Copy that. We'll check.
I couldn't pass it because I hit the stay on 57. I was telling you to get up in front, car 51, then pass Rob, pass Ray, pass Connor. Telling me to stay behind 57 to 57. Okay,
It sounds like iRacing has been giving some conflicting messages. There's a lot of chat coming over race radio.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they do need to just get over it a little bit, I think. They can't do much about it now. And Steve Darren out front from Daniel Heddershide. So it's all worked out very well for SDI.
Yeah, it has. As, yeah, Steve getting a lot of pressure put onto him by Daniel Heddershire there. And he's made the move stick. Oh, Steve, unlucky.
Yeah, an easy thing to do there, a little bit offline.
Yeah.
Under brakes coming down into Miller Corner there.
Yes, and excuse me, as Daniel had the lead there momentarily, gave it up just as quick for Mr. Aaron Goodrick. Following on behind these two, the ever fast Connor Nixon, third spot, and the one and only Blake Grenhall now up 7 spots into fourth, and he was sharing some kind, calming words before.
Oh, someone's just looped it out of turn 10.
And held the brake, but he's just getting smashed into. That's pretty average by the other drivers. I'm going to have a look at on that one.
Sam's engine looks as though it's gone there.
I'm sick of hearing all you whinging.
So what's happened here? So Sam's had a drama.
My teammate off track with him.
Oh no, that's average.
Oh, that's very average. So he's tried to gas it up to get back on track and just looped around there. So
well,
that's an error, but really not good enough.
I'll re-show it again. And I don't usually have an opinion. Obviously, he's been tapped and tagged there, but he had the opportunity here to hold the brake, and he's gassed it up right in front of everyone. For me, that's quite average. So we've got here Ridley Turner. I'm not actually too familiar with Ridley Turner, but looks like he's driving with the Skeleton Sim Sports entry, and he's got Wayne Spencer from MX19 joint entry here, 49, no boot on the back of that one, a little bit squared off in the front, so he's definitely had a world of fun, as you see Wayne getting loose coming out through that corner. So if anyone wondered what the effect was of losing a spoiler, it's definitely noticeable there. Nick Bakey and another Skeleton Sim Sports entry of Steve Bradford. Nick putting the pressure on to Steve. That's in position 13 and 14. Both those drivers showing up currently 16 and 12 spots respectively. Some chopping and changing happening here at the front between Aaron Goodrick and Daniel Heddershaw there, and Connor Nixon in amongst the thick of that. It just gets around the inside of Aaron Goodrick, soon to be on the outside.
Flag, car 49, avoidable contact.
I missed
Connor
that
49
one. Who was that one?
Here. I believe it was car 49. It's Aaron Goodrick tangles up with Connor Nixon there.
Race control, car 301, lap 24 at the heavens.
And Aaron has called that one in.
Yeah.
Copy, looking into it.
So yeah, that was a bit of a hard one. Everyone checking up under brakes with between Daniel Heddershaw there, Connor Nixon, Aaron Goodrick. Aaron being the one that's fallen over the most on that. Did you catch what race control's penalty was there a second ago?
I did briefly relay the number just before that incident, but it slipped out of my head now.
Yeah, I obviously don't have the joy of being able to replay Wayne's. Sean's. Replay Sean's decision makings there. Closest battle on track at the moment.
Race control, can you look at
Braden
car
Sagasa.
20, lap 25, getting rear-ended from Sam Deal.
Yeah, copy, looking to it. Cheers.
Oh,
Oh, it was Braden.
Braden.
Big moment. Does well to gather that up though. That's a very.
Look, man, not your
He was
fault.
very sideways under gas there and managed to gather it up. So well done.
as we're just about to tick over into the 40-minute mark. It's amazing where a race can go. We've only got 20 minutes of racing remaining. Sorry, as I just got distracted by Jared putting a message up there on the chat. He has asked, was the DSA car in the lap 1 pile-up? Oh, was that DSA car in the lap 1 pile-up, Mark?
Yes, it was. There's only one DSA car on track because the other one's on driven by me.
Yep,
and
Mark is the only car in a DSA entry tonight because the other one is sitting here beside me in the commentary booth. We'll see where Mark is hiding currently. 28th spot as Down to Graph pulling over. Damage. Jump to the pits.
I think Dion's had enough, maybe.
Yep, sounds like
he's confirmed that.
He's signing off on that one, and he is he's gone. The car gone and jumped to the pits there. See if I can find the. Sorry, a bit messy. Go to the gyro camera here for a minute, mate. Would you mind so kindly giving us a lap rundown for the folks at home?
I don't think I've ever been asked so nicely to do that, so I guess I'll have to oblige, won't I?
Please. As we ride on board with Daniel Heddershaw as he comes around the final corner and down the straight.
Yes, coming along Gardner Straight now, under the Melbourne Australia sign to start the lap. And staying quite central all the way down the straight, and I think he's taking a defensive line there with Connor Nixon hot on him. Down to 5th gear for turn 1 doing corner, and then back to 3rd gear for the southern loop at turn 2. Slightly understeer all the way through here, patient on the gas, try not to rev it up too much and spin the rear wheels on the exit, pulling 4th gear now, using that curb up to 5th gear, flat out through Stoner Corner here. Takes the defensive line again down here into turn 4 at Miller Hairpin, and he's gone deep, he's off the track. I noticed he was in 3rd gear, very close to the turning point there, and I thought he's going to struggle to make this corner.
How's the rejoin? This is going to be the messy one.
No,
He does park
he's
on the
on
way, he's got a good view, so he does a good job there, rejoins, had a good view of the oncoming traffic from where he was.
bad luck.
So that hot lap didn't quite go to plan, did it?
No.
Running the defensive line down the inside, and
Daniel.
on the dirty line and unfortunately not able to quite get it pulled up in time for the corner
Yeah, I
there,
thought I had a
misjudging
bit
the
better
brake
of a
discipline
turn
there.
radius, but yeah, I thought I'd better back out of it.
Yeah, there was unfortunate Connor pushing himself back up through to the front there. I didn't actually see he was that close to the back of Daniel when that took place, but the brother of, or at least family
You're not
relative
talking to race
of
control, get off the mic. Other people are trying to race.
Daniel Simon up into third spot, following Blake Greenhall there currently in second. So that's a spicy one. Okay.
Yes, so Blake got P2 in the GT3s last week at Twin Ring Mategi, so
Yeah.
he might be able to turn this into 2 P2s in a row if he can hold on. As Simon has a big moment, does well to catch it.
Would you like to continue the hot lap from here, mate, seeing this is where we bombed out?
Sure, so coming down into Miller Corner as he has a dive at Blake down to first gear, that's how you get it pulled up off the racing line. Blake gives him plenty of room, so well done Blake, that's good stuff. And coming down now into Siberia, turn 6, second gear through here. Patient on the throttle again, get the power down up into third gear. Coming around through turn 7 and then the right hander at turn 8 at Hayshed, flat out if you can get the right line. Coming up to turn 9, Lukey Heights, down to third gear, over the hill, fight the understeer over the crest, get the throttle down, come over the top and then on the brakes again down to first gear, down at turn 10, short shift to second, short shift to third through turn 11. Patient on the throttle, has a bit of a correction, runs off the track, that's going to give Blake a sniff again as he pulls fourth gear. Ease off the throttle to get it into the final corner and then pull fifth gear just as you get to that exit curve and out onto the straight again to complete the lap.
Great, thank you for being able to finally get that. We started with one of the header shots and finished with the other, so that's probably quite a unique way of doing it, and 2 different camera views to boot.
That sounds like a SuperCars NZ way to do stuff, isn't it?
Certainly does. Just as I look at these 2 digital bogan entries, I always say it and I say it again, they're always glued together when they're going around the track. So Tony Lynch up 14 spots at the moment into 14th, and Eamon Young, his teammate, up 12 spots into 5th. Always
I
looking.
think they'll just throw you relieved to get rid of that other guy that's normally somewhere near them.
Yeah.
Who are you talking about?
Mr. Sean McNamara or something like that?
Yeah, the good-looking one, eh? The Sean McNamara is iRacing.
Yeah.
Well, certainly not the last one.
I think it's Sean with
Thanks
a
for that.
W, isn't it?
It is Sean with a W. He races in the Scots.
Shaon.
Yeah. There's a few awkward moments with loading sessions and having both names in there. Yep.
Yeah. And probably a few differences on Tinder hits and meetups. Not quite getting the person they expected.
Yeah. I'm not saying a word. Saying a word.
No, that's completely wrong. These guys having a great wee battle down the roadway though. Teammates for nothing. It's all on, trying to jink each other coming down the straight to break the toe. Cool wee battle.
Yeah, and as teammates, you always give a little bit of room, hopefully. So,
I was
man,
about to say teammates mean nothing in sim racing.
sometimes
you race them harder, don't you?
Not my mates.
Yeah.
Not my teammates. But all right, so where's Nick Pagey? He's in 10.
Well, there we go.
So
Yeah.
we've had a few raids
Speaking of one of your mates, there he is.
Yeah.
888 SuperCars NZ.
Yeah.
Battling off the 54.
Past. Is he going to turn down? Ah! See, he's just super light. He just gave him that corner.
I think he saw it coming and realised it was probably not going to be the right moment to hurt tyres.
And there you go, people. That's a lesson at home. You might lose the corner, but hey, there's still 13 minutes of racing to go. Yeah. So you never know what will happen. So it's not all about just blocking and trying to not let some people pass, which I think happens too often in sim racing. Not just in supercars, and all sorts of different categories.
So,
I'm going to have to rely on your stream for a moment. I'm going to lose mine because my iRacing is frozen.
yours is gone and had a
So we've had a few rage quits and a few other things happen. I think a lot of the faster guys are going to be happy if it goes back to 2 splits.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a
We're
crazy race tonight.
certainly stacked up with the numbers this evening. There's still a few turning the lap numbers. I believe
A few rage quits.
I think we're sitting about. Correct me if I'm wrong, but 36 cars still going around. No Timothy Vaughan, no Jake Rourke, no Scott Pickering, no Jason Mayer.
We've got 24 on the lead lap as far as I'm talking in iRacing terms.
Yeah, no Roger Forbert. Bruce Tannock, yep, he's actually come back out on track, which was really bizarre because he sat in pit lane for close to 14 minutes on the counter.
He had a disconnect. For some reason. It does say manual, but
yeah, right.
But,
there we go. Okay, well, there you go. There, he's stuck it out. He wants to come through to the end and score some points. Still, that's all. I mean, we forget. Maybe some have forgotten that. Yes, there are 3 drop rounds this season for this series. Tonight is a special one. It's round 1 of the Allports Enduro Cup. So separate point scoring for that. It could count towards anything at the end. But overall, the main V8 Summer Series round is still being scored as well. So drivers just need to make sure that they turn laps through to the end, and Bruce has come back out to do that. So well done for him.
So there was obviously at the restart of the yellow. We enjoyed the yellow, obviously breaking up the field, but it caused a heap of problems with the restart. And they actually didn't start when they should have, and they got black flags. So I'm not too sure what went on. Bruce reckons he got a black flag, and he was the leader. So I find that hard to believe. And so iRacing's got an issue, just like R Factor, or what something else we might have to look into.
Yeah, so from the chat that was coming through, it sounded like a few of the guys were being told to let the 51 car pass, which is Roger Forbert. Roger Forbert was being told to stay where he was.
Yeah, exactly. So I believe it's an iRacing issue. It's not SuperCars NZ or anything we've done, but that's why we normally don't do yellows.
iRacing systems run the yellow flag. We have
absolutely
follow that.
Yes.
We don't do the safety cars. The one time we tried it, I think Sean made a hit of it.
We asked it to come out, but we asked it to come out to do what it needed to do, and it would appear that it hasn't been able to manage doing that in the time frame that it needed to. So, but I can see a message there on screen from Scott Pickering. We'll pass this one on to the world. It says, lesson learnt. Don't race in bare feet. Sweaty foot slipped off the brake pedal and cut my foot up.
Cut his foot?
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, so I can only assume that it's glided over the top of the brake pedal and it's done something either to the heel or to the back of the foot by the Achilles possibly. So sorry to hear that, Scotty. Hopefully a good couple of band-aids and another beer will fix that, and that you're feeling better and join back into the racing on Thursday for the GT3s as we head to Hockenheim, our first European track for the tour on that one. I'm looking forward to seeing that take place. I don't think I've actually done a race there before, and won't be attending it, but I'll have a great pleasure in streaming that event, or at least joining in the commentary with Wayne and Sean doing it.
Ooh, we're full, mate. Sorry.
Beers night. I'm just going to watch the stream.
So it was a bit rough, eh? I beat every second of it.
Yeah.
I was looking at isn't it points, so we've got 28 max, and I'm just looking through the field. We've got a few. Well, someone said 36, but he's obviously had a drive through. But that's it, really.
That's wide out there, Dane. That's wide there. Oof.
Yeah, that's all I've got to tell you.
Yeah. Dane, not sitting up 19 spots into 6th. Great job, great drive, and still not backing off. I mean, he's definitely trying to put some pressure onto Tony Lynch there in front of him in the digital bogan entry. And you can see where that pressure is. Oh, Dane being too polite there, he should have kept in it. Dane was worried that he didn't think he would do too well at the event, and everyone was saying the times were looking good, the consistency was looking better, and it's about to make another gain for him as he looks to be able to get around the outside here of Tony.
Don't go there! Don't
He's just not got his
Wow.
kept it on track. Well done.
Wow.
I'm going to click
Oh,
off
good
Dane
That
because
shit is never good.
I think we might have to go and watch someone else.
I've never seen anyone pass on that part of the track. It's even been there was crazy.
Yeah. Dane just trying to muscle and keep that car under control as we've got just about 6 minutes remaining on the clock for the 1 hour.
So I see Nick Bakey's
What
pitted.
are you
There's a
doing out there?
few people pitted twice. See
Yes,
that there?
yeah. So and that's possibly some of the guys that had to stop early for repairs. Dane putting on the
Oh, stay on
pressure.
this. This is like, man, I would have hit him by now. It's funny, you can tell a sim racer watching it compared to someone just liking the racing. Yes, I'm like,
Is he going to go for the inside here?
I would.
There's
Oh,
a
take it,
lot.
mate. Take it. Take it.
Slippery on that inside line. He's going to go deep.
Lost 1,
Yeah.
2.
Ooh!
Oh,
He went
the
wide.
header shot
He
can't
went
go
wide. Yeah, and Dane stopped. So.
Sorry, mate.
And Dane saying that, yeah, that was
Yeah,
quite close there,
whoa.
Daniel.
That's a tricky spot to get it pulled up offline down to the hairpin there. I've overestimated the grip I'm going to get on that line numerous times, so good on
Yeah.
Dane for having a go, but unfortunately
Was.
wasn't quite able to pull it off.
Not quite there. Steve Darren, SDI. Interiors, Steve Darren Interiors even. Sitting there now in 6th spot, up 15 from where he started. And I believe that's Cole Taylor.
That is that Cole Taylor, correct?
That Cole Taylor, Pepsi Max entry. Love that livery, it's cool, eh?
Very cool.
I did say to him, I said I do prefer Coke, but I'll talk about Pepsi just for tonight.
It's wrong. It's on the it's on the wrong car.
No,
No.
no.
Greg Murphy ran a Pepsi Max Commodore towards the end of his career.
That's all I can hear.
I know. Well, hey, that's how I feel about Pepsi as well, mate. I mean, I didn't want to go to that extreme, but yeah. Look,
Did he run that
getting
paint
close
job? Did Murphy run that paint job?
here. He ran a Pepsi
Modern?
Max livery.
Ah, a Pepsi Max or Pepsi?
I think it was a Max livery.
Yeah.
Oh,
I believe that is at least very similar to the livery that Greg Murphy ran.
I believe it. I just, you know, I didn't see him because he was so far back down the field when he was running it.
So, just on the roof of that Cole Taylor, as he's getting a little bit closer at sniffing onto the back of Steve Darren.
I predict he's going to get him within 3 minutes.
Within 3 minutes or 3 minutes remaining?
Well, it's 3 minutes race, so he's got to get him within that, doesn't he?
I was going to say, because there's only 3 minutes of racing to go.
Well, plus a little bit more by the time they finish the lap.
Yes.
Yeah, correct. God, you two. Painful. Very particular.
Who do you prefer hanging out with, mate?
I think I'm going to sit it. Anyway, that's fun. It's good. Bruce is still running after being P1 at the restart, and obviously had to have a drive-through, had to have a lot of stuff. He's still out there going. I actually probably respect that more than the quitters, that's for sure.
100% is. Aaron Goodrick pokes the nose down the inside.
He's another one.
Space.
He's got no boot. He's been hit many times. He's called race control like 3 times.
Yep.
I think two of them we're going to have to look at after the race with the boys. But, oh no.
Oh, Nick having to go back.
This is cool. He's got no wings, so that makes it hard for him, and he's just hanging on to that thing. Nick's pretty clean, man. I have to say, Nick is probably one of the cleanest drivers I know, which annoys me because I'm not as good as him in that respect of driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
always enjoy racing Nick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
likewise. And
should we get him
Nick
through
being
here?
Nick being the one who hosts our end of week Piston Cup round, Fridays and Saturdays, and the Legacy V8. So that's the older version of these cars here. 2014 models, I believe they are, the Holdens and Fords.
Some would say.
The best
Some
ones.
would say that, the better ones of the two.
Although potentially these cars may become the legacy cars quite soon.
Yes, well, depending on how quickly iRacing gets involved with scanning the new Gen 3 vehicles that are coming out start of this new year for the V8s, which I believe kicks off around end of March. I haven't personally seen the confirmed dates, but I know there's some out there. Shane, you might have a bit more knowledge around that.
I think it's late February. I know they have some test days planned through February, and then I think they kick into the first round. Looks like just early March, actually.
Right, okay, yeah, I thought it was March. I didn't know if it was the start or the end, but yeah, there we go. Yeah, interesting to see the base of those two cars coming forward, the Camaro and the Mustang. A lot of people happy that the Mustang, the new one, the Gen 3 one, has been unmutilated, as this one here that you currently see on screen was pushed, poked, prodded and stretched to almost unrecognisable measures to fit it over top of what was you call them the mono cells or the safety cells inside the car. Match the two. It's just a shell over top is different.
Correct. So SuperCars run a control chassis. So every chassis on all the SuperCars is identical within certain tolerances that the teams are allowed to construct. But the measurements have to be to a certain specification, and the typical Mustang body wouldn't quite fit over the roll hoop of that chassis, so they had to change the shape of it a fair bit, and it doesn't look all that much like a road-going Mustang, so the new one will look much more like it.
So I'll stick here with
now?
Connor Nixon. Yeah, I believe it should be the final lap. It hasn't come up with the white flag, but I can only assume with the time margin being over the 1 hour mark, and it would have been as close to when Connor came round on the previous. He comes down through the hill there. Just about to come by pit entry as he rolls out of it, keeping it nice and steady.
So it's not just Wayne that can't get a white flag?
No. Shut up.
Time races are like that. Here we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Checkered flag. Well done.
Well done, Connor. He was really upset. He thought that yellow was going to get him and ruin his race, but he didn't, and he's come back. And wow, look at that field coming down. Blake got third, so he'll be wrapped with that.
Yeah, there he is. Well done, boys. Yeah, I mean, and this is what it's been for Mr. Greenhall this season, hasn't it? Evan Young rounding out 4th, Tony Lynch taking the 5th spot there, so that was the 2 digital bogan entries. Cole Taylor, you were right.
Yeah, Tony.
Look at it. Somewhere in that last 3 minutes, just managed to get by Mr. Steve.
Oh, we almost got it on the
Steve Darren.
Yeah.
Bit of luck.
Oh, now you're in fire. I like that.
Yeah, awesome evening
Good
of racing. Thank you to the guys that stuck around.
Good race, Andrew.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Hopefully, there's a few extra weeks before the next V8.
Yeah, racing trial. Car 3, lap 9, final corner, thanks. Still over. Race it, keep on, get it.
I'm looking into it, Nick.
I can't believe it. So yeah, even after the checkered flags, people still asking Sean to go and review some incidents that took place. So yeah, well, I think we'll just wrap it up because we've probably got a wee bit to look over in our own time now. So yeah, there we go. That was round 1 of the Allports Enduro Cup, round 5 of the V8 Summer Series. Thank you to this week's sponsor of 54 Sim Racing. Check it out.
Thanks, mate.
There's a cool wee story around there where that number comes from. Go and check it out on my Facebook page there. Yeah, cheers to
Careful,
Shane.
Connor. Careful,
Don't
Connor,
want to get
driving the wrong way.
black flagged. Imagine that. Oh, race control, can I get a black flag clear?
It is possible to get disqualified for that even after everybody's finished, so you have to be careful.
I think everyone has to be finished, don't they? Done a good job of smoking them up though. He'll be looking forward to getting some photos afterwards. Kind of likes doing those. But anywho, thank you Shane for joining me in the commentary booth again this evening. Macatap, McNamara, always a pleasure having you with us, mate.
Thank you very much. Hopefully I wasn't too mean.
No, being good. Maybe
Right, boys.
maybe not mean enough. So
Well, next time, if people stop crashing, I'll be able to talk more and join more on the stream. But it's one of those races we'll put down to, we'll make some adjustments and try and figure something out. And I'd like to thank Shane for bringing up the time I tried to be a yellow car and try and get the leader, and it turned to custard. So it doesn't matter if we get iRacing to do it. If we do it, it turns to custard.
yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah.
All
Cheers,
right,
boys.
thank you very much, folks. Catch us on Thursday once again, the Broadcasting Lounge. Have a good evening.